Okay, greetings everyone. Welcome to Gerard Black in the Philippines with the Truth. I want to welcome you to my channel, all my subscribers, all my peaches, triggers, lovers, haters, commenters, each and every one of you. I want to welcome you to my channel and taking the time to check me out. You know, um, often the time I've spoken about how families might respond to a loved one moving to the Philippines. And oftentimes, how foreigners, um, families disapprove or resent them deciding to make a change in their life, in their senior year of life. I mean, sure, families will love to be able to take care of you, you know, have you on that rocking chair or come visit you in a nursing home, and but see, that's a selfish move on their part, see, to want to keep you there and, wither away to nothing and not taking into consideration of what makes you happy, you know. So some of us, decide to come to the Philippines. So we come to the Philippines, because we know there's got to be a better way of life. We know there's got to be, hey, something better than this, merely existing, in an environment that oftentimes see you as being invisible, who walk past you in the street or don't call you and don't come by and see if you need anything or take you for walks or push you in your chair. All right, we had a few of those here in the Philippines. But, you know, uh, living in that type of, you know, uh, environment is, can, I think, can rush you to the grave, because because you just know there's got to be something better. So here we are, or here I am in the Philippines, you know, and one of my reasons because I come because lack of family, you know, I'm about ready to have a child this month, and the joy, you know, it's starting to build up. The momentum is starting to build up inside me. That I'm bringing life into this world. You know, uh, I know when I had my first daughter, it was a matter of you know um, uh, I was in Hollywood, and I'm not going into details. I've done it plenty of times, but I was in Hollywood, and I was pursuing my career as a photographer, and I'm rushing here. I latched on to Bonnie, and I'm on my Sunday morning classics. This coming Sunday, I'm going to talk about Bonnie Hilton Sweeney. So those of you who want to know, who Bonnie is, click in there at 7 a.m. Filipino time, and I think it's 6 a.m. East Coast time in New York, and then everywhere else around the world, you figure it out. So anyway, you know, um, the mother of my kids, Diana, at that time, you know, um, she had stopped using drugs. She sworn off of drugs, when kind of like when she got pregnant, and she decided to wrap herself around in her pregnancy, to wrap herself around in anticipation of her child. I often said God could not have chosen a better woman to have my kids than Diana, and I still stand by that today. So I mean, she stopped working, once the first one was born, and opened up, when we moved to Oregon, she opened up a daycare center. Yeah, well, if it gets to that, I will. So she could be with the kids up until the age of 5. She didn't want to drop them off nowhere at a sitter or something like this or whatever. She wanted to be around. It was a smart move for her. So anyway, so during that time, Diana had sworn that she wasn't going to be, chasing stars like I would. Because I would be telling her, come on, come on, come on, Diana, come on, I got invited to this party. Come on, I'm going to go cover this. Bonnie's having another thing. Come on, let's go, or whatever I'm doing. And Diana said, no, she's not starstruck. Being, you know, Pacific Northwest white, I understand that. She might have missed a lot of the, people who I idolize or people who I would be excited about meeting, because it just wasn't in her DNA. So she ended up staying at home. So when the first child was born, because of our past, I didn't know who the father was, or I had doubts if it was mine, because you know, uh, um, because of the things that Dinah and I had done before. I don't want to put on. I don't want to beat that dead horse. So when Gianna came out, I looked at it and it was so white. I said, "Oh, this is not my baby. This is not my baby." And she said, "Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's your baby. Yes, it is." Now it could have been three other men who I knew. Child it was, but so what I did was I always wore dark glasses. I took my glasses off like this and I bent over that child and closed one eye and I examined that child and I looked all in its face. I looked and I looked and I saw my mother's lips. I saw my mother's cheekbones. I saw my mother's forehead. I saw that this is my child. And I told Diana, I said, Diana, I'm going to set this child as mine. I said, but if God chose you to be the mother of my kids, I want two. I don't want one. I don't want to be have a single child. I want two. And Diana fought me. No, I'm not going to get pregnant again. No, I'm not. And she did. And as a result, we had Janelle. I often told Janelle, I said, Janelle, you are the gift I gave your sister. So anyway, Diana was, engulfed in, by this time, I'm. Diana had gotten a job in a boutique store called Dynamite, and Dynamite boutique was owned by an Arab or Ukrainian or Iranian, something like that, one of the Middle Eastern cats. And although I was working, as a black and white lab technician, the money wasn't enough, and it was coming slow. And um, um, there was a girl working there in the store named Leah. I remember Leah. Leah was a fine Eastern girl, Middle Eastern girl, and she was a pharmacist. So I said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, yeah. I could be a pharmacist. I had experience doing that. So I started selling in the industry. And I started selling with to celebs. I started selling to, you know, uh, everybody around my place was download. So I started selling. And ultimately, to make a long story short, Dinah was 9 months pregnant, and I got arrested there, raided my home. And I called the detective, and he said, Gerard, come turn yourself in, and we'll let her go, which they didn't do. They kept us both in over the weekend and let us go. They couldn't find nothing. They found my scale notes, and that's that. I was at Billy Preston's ranch with about a quarter ounce, and I told him if he had just waited, he would have caught me with somebody there. So, but let's get back to having a child. Now, because of our experience the mother that I had, that we had gone through. For some reason, I am worse than blacklisted. I have been denied access to my oldest daughter for over 30 years. My youngest daughter, whenever she services, and it's hard for her because she's fighting with her addiction, and every now and then she'll surface, and she'll call me and tell me she loved me like this. And I remember one time, I found a Father's Day card from her in my safe, and I opened it, and I hadn't read, and she apologized for the hard times that her and her sister had given us, and it touched me. But anyway, my oldest daughter, I don't understand why. I don't understand. I don't understand why the mother does not encourage her children to get to know their father. I don't understand that. I really, really don't. A father who supported them, a father who put the down payment on a house that she bought, that they lived in for many, many years, who paid about 1,000 a month child support, voluntarily, a father who, due to his, military background, has allowed them to go to school free through college, to allow them to get benefits to the age of 18 to 21 if they stay in school. I don't understand how you can turn your back on a man who has done so much for you and your child, or in this case, your children. See, I believe that this is what happens whenever you try to make a child your friend. You know, you know. I used to talk to her on the phone, and she would scream and yell and say awful things to me, and I would say, Diana, are my kids in the room? And she said, yeah. I said, why are you talking to their father like that? Why? And then when I call and she's, oh, how you doing, Gerard? How you feel? I said, let me guess, the kids are not there. She said, no, they're outside. I said, I can always tell when the kids are in the room or when they're not by the way you talk to me. So my belief is that my oldest daughter grew up hating me, you know. For real. Well, I don't know why. I don't know why. I've never done nothing to you. I'm not the first father, who lived on the East Coast and the children on the West Coast. I'm not the first father, who's been to jail. I'm not the first father who's been on drugs. I'm not the first father who has done that. I'm not the first father who's turned their life around and made something of their life, who's accomplished so much as I accomplished in my life since those days. And you still hate me. You refuse to talk to me. You rather call me bio dad, I don't know. Diana is under the spell of my oldest daughter. Whatever my oldest daughter tells her to do, she'll do. Gianna is very strong-willed. She is very dominating. I watched her control her younger sister, telling her what to wear, how to fix her hair, where to go, and all this stuff, and totally controlled her younger sister. But when she got old enough to want to be by herself and didn't want her younger sister around her, Janelle was lost. Janelle didn't know what to do. Janelle, sought comfort in relationships that abused her because that's what she has been known to do, or what she's been known to live under someone telling her what to do and all this stuff, and she would set herself in arguments. She'd be, so you think I'm stupid? And the person, yeah. And then, it's like, why you set yourself, I just don't know why. I just don't know why. And I text Diana, and recently, and and I'm gonna text again and want to tell her, look, I'm about ready to bring a child into this world. Are you gonna tell her that she has a sister or a brother? I mean, do they know that I'm having a child? Have you conveyed that? Now, Gianna won't even talk to me. I'm not trying to, try to find about her life through Facebook or through the internet or whatever. I want them to tell me on their own. I know you see at the end of every one of my videos, I post supporting my daughter Gianna. Gia Goodrich. She decided to use her mother's last name, and that's fine with me. But I'm doing what I can, even from here, to support her, to let her know I love her. And when I talk to my younger sister, I said, well, what's John? They go, I don't want to talk about my family. What do you mean you don't want to talk about your family? I made your family. Don't you understand that? You know? And it hurts me. It hurts me. And now here I am to have a baby. I remember Diana had three other. There was four of them. Diana had three other sisters, and they used to tell her, "Why are you so mean to him? He's done nothing but good to you. Why do you do the things you do to him? To a good man." You know? I remember when I went to Oregon and the cold, and I'm in my car, and I was at the invite of my sister-in-law. That when I got there, they went answer the phone. So I'm living in my car in the cold and in the snow, in the garage at the VA hospital, and they're like this, and and when Janelle found out, Janelle flew from New York to Oregon, put me up in a hotel, and she went to see her mother, and now Diana's mother welcomed me with open arms. My mother-in-law, she welcomed me with open arms. The whole family welcomed me with open arms. They pretty much bowed to me. You know what I'm saying? Hello, nothing but love and all this, support, to my, my trying to recover from addiction or my working or whatever, Um, but when she passed away, all that love and all that stuff went away. So Janelle had come from New York, to go see her mother and her sister, and had a meeting to see if Diana, the mother of my kids, should come talk to me. And Gianna said no. And when my youngest daughter came back, said, "No, mom's not going to meet you because, Gianna said no." And I don't understand, little girl. I don't understand, you know, why you feel the way you do. But I'm getting ready to have a baby now. What do I tell it about her brother and sister? I got to let her know that it has one, it has two. Maybe one day they would like to meet her, their sisters. Maybe they would want to meet her family, its family. And sometimes the thought of just living my life without caring enough to even let them know about the Pacific Northwest relatives is not fair to them. So I'm going to stop right here with 19 minutes, and I don't want to make this a two-parter. Those words, but it hurts me. It hurts me of not having the support and joy, you know, of my extended family happy for me. But it's okay. You know, I got my brother and my uncle and a few others from the black side, you know, who are happy for me. Yeah. As far as the white side, not so much. Okay, so this is Joy. Speaking about my brother, there he is. He just came on. You know, so, see, that's how God works. I'm gonna text him after, or video chat him after this. Okay, so you're watching Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. Remember, dreams and nothing one plans winning action. Never disrespect the elder who pulls them out. And sometimes you don't even see it. And the best revenge in life is live good. I'm living good today. Hope you are too. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Hollywood's informed lead singer of Temptation with some trio like Lady, and ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make him feel like a king. And never say no. But before I go, let me tell you this. I was so desperate to trying to find an avenue of healing between my children and me that there was a time Oprah Winfrey and Ted Turner, no, wait, yeah, Oprah Winfrey and Ted Turner. Ted Turner donated 1/3 of his wealth to Oprah Winfrey's Angel Tree Network. So I wrote a letter to Oprah Winfrey and explained what was happening with me and my children. And I told her, look, although my 1/3 of my wealth is not as great as Ted Turner is, that doesn't make it any less uh, important or any less relevant. And I wrote a check from jail for over $3,000, 1/3 of my wealth at that time. And when I tried to send it, because you have to send disbursement slip. So I put it in a letter, I signed a disbursement slip and mailed it. But the jail stopped it. The jail stopped it because they told me that they could not send Oprah, the money because it didn't have a tax ID number because it was a not-for-profit. So I said, okay, I'm in the joint. I don't know how I'm gonna get that, so I couldn't get it. So I ended up giving it to my stepfather for him to buy a car. So anyway, but when I got out, I was contacted by BET because BET was doing this program called Daddy's Home. They have heard because I've been very vocal and trying to find help to help me heal. The bridge between my daughters and me because I wanted them so desperately in my life. And BET asked me, would I come on to the show or be a part of this pilot show called Daddy's Home? And I said, sure. Janelle had said yes. They had flew me to, I think it was Connecticut, to see a psychiatrist, to kind of talk to me and whatever. But Gianna said no. She didn't want to be on the show. And as a result, it didn't go any further than that. But I was reaching out every which way to try to bring us together as a family. I flew them every year to New York and every other Christmas so they get to know that black side of the family. And when I couldn't do it, my family would pitch in. But it hurts me. It not hurts me for not having my children in my life. And this one here, it's mine. Okay. I hope I didn't bend your ear too much. I'm just going to put this in one video and see what happens. Let the eggs fall. Amen. I'll talk to you later. Peace. Gotta get this edited and out to go play tennis. Ciao.